First up at UFC Mexico, we have a Tajik fighting a Peruvian at UFC Mexico. We have Muhammad Naimov taking on Erik Silva.
That's an Ecuador flag.
I knew it was not Mexican, and I really shot my shot there saying Peruvian. The point still stands. Opening up the UFC Mexico card, there is not a Mexican in this fight. We got Erik Silva. He is 9-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off a submission loss in his UFC debut. He's taking surging Muhammad Naimov, 10-2 overall, 5-0 in his last 5. He is coming off that decision over Nathaniel Wood. Muhammad Naimov seems to be everybody's big-time favorite here. Everybody's loving him. I'm seeing the comments. Everybody wants to parlay Naimov and a few other people. And I get it. He's good. He's a well-rounded guy. He will prefer to strike, but he can wrestle if he needs to. He's fast. He's athletic. Old-school style striker. If he closes the distance, he's going to clinch up. He'll bang it out in the pocket. He will actively defend takedowns early in the fight. And then I don't know if he gets tired or the striking changes don't go the way he wants to. Then he'll look for takedowns as that fight goes on. Overall, pretty good fighter. 2 wins in the UFC. 1 impressive, 1 loaded with strikes to the genitalia and just general fouls in general. And that was his last fight over Nathaniel Wood.
The dominating win, is that the one you're talking about?
I think he won that fight, but he
fucking
was
smoked.
just reaching for privates.
He smoked that big favorite Nathaniel Wood. I'll tell you that.
He's taking on Erik Silva. Erik Silva is an aggressive grappler. He's going to march you down. He's going to walk forward. He's going to throw big, heavy punches, big, heavy kicks. He will look to get it to the ground. And once he does, he's got good pressure, good control. Everything he does, whether it's striking, grappling, whatever it is, looks like it hurts. He's constantly focused on giving damage, constantly focused on hurting his opponents. He does get wild on his feet, jumping, spinning, all sorts of acrobatics. It's almost like he doesn't even care and he's just having a little fun on his feet until it gets to the ground where he wants it to be. But even though he's this spectacular ground fighter, he was just submitted by downtown TJ Brown. And honestly, the odds are a bit surprising here because we didn't have odds when I looked at this fight the other day. I figured Naimov would be a favorite here. I figured he would, right? He's got 2 good wins in the UFC, one over a really good name, another over a
great chest hair,
sort of a red-ish fighter. And I was surprised to see that, okay, minus 200 favorite, that's 2-1, no problem. Then it sort of surged to minus 300. And I get it. On paper, it makes sense. He hits hard. He can wrestle. He's got 2 good quality wins, 1 a knockout, 1 a decision. So we know he can go a little bit longer. But Erik Silva is kind of dangerous. I do think that Muhammad Naimov benefited from those fouls against Nathaniel Wood. I still think he would have beaten Nathaniel, but they sort of dropped each other. There was some danger on both sides of that. Naimov is going to be the pick. I don't know if I like the money line at minus 300. I don't know if he should be a 3-1 favorite just yet. So I'm probably going to wait. The prop bets will drop today or tomorrow. But Muhammad Naimov is definitely going to be the pick here. What do you think, Agent J?
Yeah, a little biased here, but Naimov is a former lock of the week, right? So I'm a big fan of Naimov. He came in against Nathaniel Wood and just absolutely dominated that little dude, and from bell to bell, my mind dropped. Little
dude,
and he looked great in that performance. What I do worry about here is I know that he trains at Elevation. He's in Colorado, right, with Gagey and that camp up there, grinding away. But this is a little bit higher, right? We need to talk about the entire card. This is an Elevation card, and this isn't Salt Lake City Elevation where everyone else was dying, right? I think people showed up and they weren't as prepared as a lot of people are prepared on this card. But, I mean, this is almost twice as high as Salt Lake City. So it's going to affect people. It could affect a guy like Naimov, who's more of a grinder. But I do like his power in the way that Erik Silva strikes. Because Erik Silva is working on the striking, right? You've seen him in this camp with Diego Lopez, and he's trying to be with the Lobo people and pick up his striking and that right. But it's sloppy, and his defensive striking is sloppy, and he kind of lunges in, and that should be perfect for the type of striker Naimov is. And Naimov should be able to hold his own in the wrestling, in the grappling. But if things get tired, I don't know if I can trust Naimov, especially at that minus 300 price tag. I agree. I'm a big Naimov guy. But when I broke this down, I was like, minus 125, maybe minus 150 in my mind for Naimov. So I'm going Naimov here, but I'm not minus 300 is way too much for me. And if he gets tired, anything can happen in this fight for sure.
I'm glad we're on the same page there, because if you only read comments on my Quick Picks video, I was the idiot. Yeah, everybody thinks he's like a guarantee. And I was like, maybe I am stupid. And I don't have my safety parlay yet. And I'm like, do I put Naimov in the safety parlay? No. Because my original notes without odds, because we didn't have them, and we've talked about this many times, I do my notes on my picks before I look at the odds. But then I will look at them and I'll adjust my notes accordingly. But there weren't odds for this. And I assumed, like you, I knew he would be a favorite because of the wins. And they are good wins, like name-wise. Right. But I'm surprised that he's 3-1. Immediately bet to a 3-1 favorite. So I guess we'll see. But he should win. He's powerful and he can grind. Elevation, every single fighter on this card is 155 or under. I don't think there's any welterweights. And there's certainly nobody higher than that. I do think elevation may affect some people, but I don't think it's going to be. There's a lot of people making a bigger deal of it than I think it will be. Everybody's small and everybody's got good cardio.
That's not. I mean, you saw the Salt Lake City card got destroyed.
A lot of big fighters on that card.
I know, but still, this is twice as high elevation. This is like even like all the commentators like DC was like, guys, I'm telling you right now, for this Mexico City card, you can't just show up that week. It's not one of those 2 or 3 day acclamations. It is the real fucking deal. And you hear a lot of people, and that's why there's a lot of people on this card that had their camps there. It is a big deal. I mean, they're making a big deal about it, and if you're showing up this fight week, I think it's going to affect you.
The UFC did wise up. Obviously, they used a lot of regional, local talent, and people of Mexican descent aren't typically the largest people outside of Cain Velasquez. So there's a lot of smaller fighters anyway, but they did do a good job not fucking around and throwing a heavyweight out here for no reason.
Right, yeah.
Not even any light heavyweights.
No, even if the elevation affects it, I agree. It's not going to be like in a half a round, right? Like we saw with some of those fights. But even if it does affect it, I think a lot of these fighters, I mean, there's some fucking dog. This card is loaded with fucking dogs, finishers and dogs. I think this card is going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait for it, honestly. But yeah, there's a lot of dogs on this card.
It should be a fun card. DraftKings also thinks Muhammad Naimov is a massive favorite, $9,100, one of the more expensive fighters on here. He does put up numbers, so I get it, and he actually might be in my lineup because of that. And to Jacob's point, he is a dog. If I had to worry about anybody's cardio in this fight, though, it would be his. He was slowing down against Nathaniel Wood, and that wasn't at elevation. So this could be a little bit more of the same. But both of us on the Naimov side, if you do want to see any bets that we have for this fight, you want to check out the props, the picks, the round line leans, and everything else we do, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. And what I will say, we do have a couple of super chats to hit here real quick, but I do want to just thank everybody again. I don't know what it was, but the love that we got last week was crazy. We were already sitting at 3,000 premium members. Then we had hundreds of new premium members sign up between Thursday and Saturday. It was crazy. So I appreciate every single one of you. I am so glad. Is that a matching sweatsuit? What are you? You're from Brooklyn
man, there's
now?
300 more members. We got this is a Louis sweatsuit, baby.
So you got a Sergio Tequila.
Sign up, become a premium member today. I'm trying to get some Versace as well.
But it wasn't even just that. The comments were huge. The video, our main video, this video did 20,000 views. Like, everything was great last week. Everybody was like nice and funny and kind. Like, it was a great week overall. So I know I play the role of like the angry guy, but genuinely appreciate all of it.
I remember this conversation. You're trying to soften it up. I get it.
And I'm sharp.
You're brash.
I am.
You are brash, and that's not a facade either. He treats
that's
me
just
like
who
that.
I am. That's just who I am.
He treats me like that off camera as well. So you guys, I get it the same as you. Every time the phone rings, I'm like, oh god, oh god.
The girls don't get
what's
it.
he gonna say?
I'm nice to the girls. Anyway, Quint with the $2 super chat.
Hello.
Okay. Thank you very much, Quint. Jason Opp, $5 super chat. No comment, but we genuinely appreciate you. Quint either became a member or re-upped his membership. This is YouTube membership, not premium membership.
I love that man.
And Riffraff, you will see in the Fight Foods vlog, sent us an incredible gift. It's the second time he sent us something really cool. Thank you very much, Riffraff. He gave me his premium username. I'm going to convert him to Lifetime. He's just so generous.
There's a great clip on my Instagram from his donation. I think he donated $20 the first time he donated. Right? I was like, Riffraff, and I started singing a Riffraff song.
I think I remember. Yeah. Now, Riffraff is a full-blown Lifetime premium member. You get the goods. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to wewantpicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.